despite the fact that I got up and walked across the room and put a hand on Marianne's head, the internal experience of all of that is that I didn't actually do anything. And internally, that's true. Sometimes people try to describe things by saying, well, it's not that I did a thing, I was a vessel for the divine to do a thing. And that does sound a lot better to me. It sounds much closer to the truth. Internally, what takes place on my side of this is simply inwardly going to a place of stillness here. It's a place that's overwhelmingly natural to me. It's also when it's very, very still. And if that stillness is still enough in anyone, then it can become still enough even for the thought forms in their mind that confer a sense of self can still also. And so there is literally a sense of any sense of an individuated self simply being not there in any way. And that's why it seems extraordinarily, literally accurate to say, I didn't do anything. Because there's essentially the experience of there wasn't an I there in the first place to be a volitional force in any way. So there was no way whatsoever in which I was wishing or praying or even setting an expectation that something good would happen. And there was no sense in any way whatsoever of manipulating energy, talking to guides, or anything. To me, over here, it still seems startling sometimes and almost odd that out of that stillness comes sometimes metaphoric imagery, sometimes intuitive information that either sheds some light on the experience that is happening inside your consciousness in those moments, or sheds some light on where there's a core block of some sort. Not only is that sort of seen in some way or perceived in some way, which sometimes makes it possible to end up talking about it, which often seems helpful. But the most beautiful part of that experience is that there's a way in which there is a looking past all of that, simply straight past it, to see the most sort of fundamental essence of you that is the divine. It is divine. Now I'm going to start crying. It is inexpressibly beautiful. It is as whole as could be, which means it cannot possibly be broken or hurt or impugned or threatened or even frustrated. It appears as perfect, shining, and limitless.
And that's on all of us, right?
Absolutely. And it's sort of like our funny little blocks just get in the way of that. Which is why this business of being on the spiritual journey, which is nothing but a fancy phrase for being on the human journey, is a demolition project. It is the removal of the blocks. That's all. I say that's all in a flippant, almost a flippant way, because one of the other things that's true about those blocks and seeing that limitlessness in you and absolutely everywhere is that the blocks actually appear as gossamer veils of nothingness. That limitless and that light seems to eclipse them in a way that is so far beyond them. There's no sense of how could the removal of that block be anything other than and one of the things that expressed that in your experience to me, as the way I would put it into words, is that part of it was that there was a point where you began to relax and just go, oh, I don't have to try so hard.